Hello, my name's Ernst Mahala. Thank you so much for this interview, and I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm really excited for this interview, and I'm excited to answer your questions. I'm hoping I can answer them, and I'm hoping I can get this job. Thank you for having me, and I'm ready to go. So, growing up, my entire life, I've always been interested in engineering, and that is what I mainly did. I did a lot of engineering. I went to an elementary school, and I did STEM program. I then did Eastlake Middle School Academy of Engineering, and then I studied engineering in high school, and I'm about to go to engineering for college. I'll be doing mechanical engineering because I got interested in Lego. I then got interested in Formula One. I was really into F1 cars and racing. And then also, I've been doing swimming my entire life. That's what I've been as well. I'm a student athlete, and I love doing what I do. So I came into here asking for a job because I knew the qualities I learned from this experience is what I wanted to achieve in your work area. My greatest strength is easily my relentless drive. When I grew up, I wasn't this. I was a lot fatter and I was a lot lazier, and I used COVID-19 for my advantage to improve myself. And I feel like because of that, I developed discipline. That is the main thing. Accountability is another thing. And this relentless drive to continue going on until you succeed. Because I'm not afraid of failing. That is part of the learning experience. And if you want to get somewhere, you have to fail. That's how it works. So my greatest strength is I'm continuously used to going full 100%, and I don't quit until I completely finish something. The way that I view stress is that I use it a lot towards embracing it almost, because I feel like part of stress, that's part of the process of becoming successful. You have to go through stress and go through the hard times to get to where you are right now. And I'm being an athlete, I understood what that felt. And even balancing school, extracurricular activities, college, all this, it's definitely going to build stress, but I feel like I have to learn to embrace it almost. And that's how I viewed stress. So I kind of embrace it and I let it happen, because that's how you grow. The hard times is what you use to grow as a person. I am very passionate with two things. Number one is swimming, and that is what I've been doing my entire life, and that's what I love doing, and I want to continue doing that for the rest of my life until I can't anymore. I'm doing this because I enjoy it, and it's not also just because of that. It's because I just love racing in general. I hated to lose, and I love to win. I've always wanted to get faster and faster in the water, and it's been enjoying because I'm using it to improve my body health and improve it in general. I also love Formula One. I'm a big Ferrari fan. I love supporting them, the red F1 cars. That is what I dream about. That's how I got into engineering, actually, is through Formula One and all the cars. And that's what I grew up. I've always loved racing, and that is what I've been interested in for past my life. What makes me unique is that I didn't get everything I wanted. Anything I wanted to do, I had to fight for it. So I didn't make a championship team for swim for a good 3 years until I finally made it. Everything I did was through earning it, because I don't believe everything's given to you. I feel like, as I said earlier, you need to go through the struggle, and that was something I did. And because I learned to embrace it, I got the success later in my life. I enjoy doing that, and what making me unique does a lot more as a person, and continuously throughout my life, it's been working and it's been working and it's been working. That's all I do, and I feel like it makes me unique because that stress and that drive made me unique as a person, because a lot of people would quit, but I'm not that person. I'll continue doing it until I officially finish it. I handle conflict as it's a part of life and you have to deal with it. I recently just learned the critical thinking model. So I try to understand both sides of the situation and make a decision based on that. I try to make the most logical decision based on a conflict situation. This can be from social to something work related, but it also applies to swim. You have to handle conflict because not everything's going to go your way. So this is the same thing that applies in the workplace. Not everything's going to come to you. Anything you want, it's going to have backlash, or something might go wrong. And a lot of the best billionaires, they never gave up because of it. They used conflict to get better, or they learned from the conflict and they managed to grow. The best way to define success is doing what you love and making a living out of it. I don't view it as becoming a millionaire, a billionaire. I view it as if you're able to do what you love and you're able to make a living out of it, that's being successful. And being successful takes a lot of work. It's not easy. It's very difficult. So being able to do that, that's my definition of success. If I got to be a billionaire, I would definitely, first make sure I have a Ferrari and everything. But I'd mainly use that time to, grow whatever business or investments that I have, because the best billionaires, they don't have $1 billion. It's their net worth and their investments are what makes them a billionaire. So I'll be using my time to read or learn more, because everyone, they say it's continuous learning, because learning is knowledge and learning is money and it's wealth. I would put myself on a scale of 5 because I give myself both a hard worker and being smart at the same time. I view as like if you're 1, you're just pure hard work, as if you're 10, you're thinking smart. I definitely use both ways. I think you can use one as like you're a hard worker, but also you can work smart as well, and work smarter, not harder. And I think I rate myself in the middle. I'm not either one of those, but I'm like just in the middle. That's how I view myself. The philosophy of selling is appealing to the consumer's needs. You're not trying to convince them to do something. You're trying to figure out what they have a problem with, and then you need to come up with the solution to that. So it's not that easy as like, give me this, or I want this, buy this is so good, you're gonna love it. It's no, you need to find what they need, and then you're able to solve that problem. So if they have an issue related to sunglasses, you find a product that fixes their sunglasses and you tell them about it. That's how you get them. It's appealing to people's needs and wants. I have 2 animals I inspire. One of them is a killer whale or an orca. And number 2 is, I would say, a cheetah or a shark. One of those 2. But these 2, the main reason is it applies to my swimming. I try to not think. And it's just natural animal instincts. They just don't think. They just go and they're relaxed. And what they do is so successfully that they don't even need to try. They're not thinking at all. It's just reactions, and they just go. So they're not thinking about what if this goes wrong. It's just, they just go. So that would apply to me in swimming, especially for what events I do. I try to turn my brain off and just go. That's what I do. My hero obviously is going to be Michael Phelps, and I got to meet him, and that was the greatest experience of my life. But the number one thing that I got from him is he gave me a really good quote that the best do stuff even when they don't want to do. I think that's what planted the seed into my drive and how I am as a person. Because after that, I then developed, that started the change of who I am as a person. That got me more stronger, faster. I really got disciplined as a human, and that allowed me to grow more, because I could be something different, but because of this, I developed and became much better as a person. Yes, I'm willing to travel. I've always wanted to travel the world, either for swimming or work reasons. I don't mind. I think traveling would be really, really cool, and especially for work trips. I understand my dad does it, and so has my mom a few times, but I enjoy it, traveling, and I would really love to do that. I'm not opposed to working long hours. I would prefer not to, but I feel like to get successful, it is consistent long hours. It's no 9 to 5 type situation. It is, you start at like 7 a.m. in the morning and you don't stop till around 10 p.m. Because the best, most successful people, they are continuously working and working and working. And they don't stop. They don't go home and, chill out. They're continuously working to get that upper edge above people. That's the same way with me with swimming. We have long hours of training in the pool, lifting in the gym, eating right. It's that same philosophy with business. The best and most rich people are the ones that are continuously working, even when they're done with their basic job. They're continuously working on something else. I feel like overtime work is necessary, especially for a big project. Sometimes it is a mandatory thing as well. It's like in college, if you have like a big project you have to do, sometimes you might need to work overnight. And overtime is something I'm willing to do. I'm not opposed to it, because I feel like that's back to what I was saying. You need to work those long hours and struggle, because that allows you to grow as a person. And I'm willing to do it because of how long it takes to be successful and what it requires. It's continuously working to get better as a person. Why should you hire me over other candidates? I would say just a simple phrase: Actions speak louder than words. That's all I'm going to say. You hire me, I'm going to prove it to you. I'm not going to say it, I'm going to prove it to you. Sell you this calculator? Got it. I'm going to give you 2 different ways. Why are you in the market for a calculator? Okay, why? What is the purpose of you wanting a calculator? Okay, are you interested in a different type of calculator? What do you mainly use it for? That type of stuff. Sell you this calculator? You told us we're not allowed to have our phones on us. Can you just do me a favor in your head? Can you calculate 8 times 7 divided by 2, multiply that by 1,000, and then can you divide that by 3? Oh wait, you can't have that. Here's a calculator that can help you out. I would say the greatest thing I bring, the attribute towards this position, it's my current drive and discipline. Because if I have something to get done, I'm gonna get it done no matter what. Even if it's late, even if it's really late, or I have something planned. If I have something I need to get done, I will get it done first. Yes, we can be procrastinate, but if you have to get something done, you get it done. So I feel like as a person, that's what I have, because I feel like I actually went through it, the struggles, and I understand how much discipline and drive it is to be successful at something. So that's probably my greatest attribute I can bring. I would say the thing I hated the most about my job, last one, not the Y one, the one, my first job at the discount signs and reps. The one I hated the most is that we worked when there was no AC. So we were sweating buckets and it was crazy, but I understood. I think it was a good learning experience because it made me really grateful for what I'm about to apply to, because it's much better position. Because I had to work the harder, lower income jobs before I can apply for this great job right here. The hardest thing I ever had to do, I would easily say wrap a whole car, because to do that, we can't make a single mistake, because one mistake pops out of the entire wrap. If you do that, it destroys like $50 worth of work right there. And we can't make any bubbles. So it's a very precise technique on how it works. And it took me a good 2 whole months to finally get it correct. And that's even harder because when you have people watching you, if you make a mistake, they're going to point you out and they're going to call you out for it. So that was definitely the toughest thing I did. I let go of my last job not because of like I quit or anything. It was just because of school. I got back into school and I had to put my full focus on that. That was the main reason why. I'm looking for a new job because I need experience in the field I'm about to get in. I want to grow my own business and I want to be more successful, but I need to have experience first in the field I'm going to. I can't just start on my own, you know what I mean? I need to have experience in what it's like to work in this field, so when I go off and branch off, I understand what I'm getting myself into and I can be able to be prepared mentally. And then also I can understand how the field works so I know what to process. I have been to work late once, but then all I did to fix that was just set a time schedule of when I had to leave, and I set a schedule of like when I had to get ready, and it was kind of just implementing it and then continuously implementing it to where it was just a habit of, oh, I have to get ready now and then I'll be there on time. Because there is a motto, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, we have to have a talk. So that is the main important thing in terms of being late. I haven't been late after that, but I've just always I have been prepared mentally and physically to like when to leave to go to work. Yes, I did. I once had a woman accuse me of spreading cancer when I was doing a byproduct. And then 2, someone made an accusation at me. The best thing to do is kind of what they told me, is shrug it off and just focus on what you're doing. Because we did a training that we had to know how to react to when people make these kind of like stupid or dumb comments or accusations. So it was being mature and just letting them do what they said, and then you then come back and then you state your reason and what actually happened, and then understand what they're saying, and then you come with you're saying as well. The main supporting skill in leadership, I would say, is you're actually leading them and you're actually doing the project with them. Because I view a boss as a term of giving stuff out and letting them do it, but I feel as a leader, you're joining them and you're guiding them to do it. So that's how I view leadership. It's supporting others. By you doing it, you're able to support others. Like if he's doing that, I got to do it with him, and he's going to help me out. Because if you've gone through the experience, you can use that to help guide them to their success. I would view my leadership in terms of, I would mainly say it's just a kind of like a supportive leadership, because if I'm going to lead you, I'm going to be supportive of you guys. So I'm going to do something with you. I'm going to guide you through it. Or if I have to do a project, I'm going to join you in the project. So I'm going to put my weight on, but I'm also going to support the other people as well I'm leading, to help them as well. So we all grow together to get a project done. Yes, this is currently the job that I am, and it is very nice. So it's kind of, you have the knowledge and then you show it to them and you guide them through it. And I did this for fitness goals. I did it with swimming, and it's pretty nice because then when you see them get really good times or they get a really good body, it's very satisfying because you help them as well. And they thank me, and that's what I do for the fitness. So helping them improve their lifestyles for the better is very satisfying, and it is something that is very worthy to do. The people who inspire me most is definitely Michael Phelps, because he had that insane drive and discipline and the leadership to become the greatest. And then another person I would say is definitely my dad, because he's working on his business. He doesn't make much and he did at Lockheed Martin, but what he's doing, he's still doing it, and he's being a leader to others, helping in his business, so that way they can go off and do what they want to do. So it's inspiring others. That's what got me. I feel that constructive criticism is a main key thing to accept. And I feel like it's mandatory that you actually need to embrace it, because sometimes constructive criticism is pretty bad, but also sometimes it might be useful. It might give you advice. Someone might say they hate it, but then they give you a better option that actually works. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. Sometimes they say stuff that doesn't make any sense, and you just have to just brush it off. But other times they might give you something that actually helps you and supports you for the better. So I definitely, depending on what they say, I might either take that when I'm thinking, or just forget it. Most of the time I'll take it and learn from it. That's pretty much what I do. I determine who gets access is based on actions. So if someone really puts in the effort and their actions show it, I'm going to give it to them, because actions speak louder than words. That's a fact. Someone could say they're the best, but they're actually the most laziest person. It's depending on who they are as a person, how action they are. Let me think. That would be Mary, if I'm correct. I'm gonna think simple. You just take it, open the fridge, put the elephant in, and then close the fridge. That's it. You need only 3. So you split the 8 balls into groups of 4, and whatever's a heavy one, you then split that heavy one into 2, and then whatever of those 2 is heavier, then you split those 2 into one, and then whatever's heavier is the slightly heavier ball. That's how it works. If I had to get rid of one U.S. state, I would technically say none, because they all provide something in the economy that's really important, or they're part of the electoral college, so that's mainly a key thing. But if I really had to sell one, I would consider like Wyoming, probably, because that's where it's upper north, and in terms of what they provide in the economy, I think they don't provide that much. So that's what I feel. I feel Wyoming is the best. I would first look up the car percentage, and based on, in a city, how much the percentage of each car color. So let's say white's like 50%, and black's like 40%, and like that type. So let's say red is like 5%. I will then find the average population of like, let's say of Boston. I'll then multiply that number by that amount of cars, and then that's what I would make my answer based on. Baseball is 3, and 3 inches cubed. So my answer would be like 3.87 million. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking from that. I'm thinking of that because the baseball is 3 inches cubed. So then divide that by 64, and then divide that by, and then multiply that, and that's how you get it. I would like to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity for the interview. I would like to say this has been an amazing experience, and I'm really hoping I made an impression. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really hoping I made an impression, and I would love to get in contact with you. All right, thank you very much. Have a good day.